Welcome to Language Swap, everyone, a fun way to learn English. We are so excited to have you join us today.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sally. And today's episode is the one we teased 2 episodes ago, World Cup travel tips.
Which feels extremely relevant right now, because the tournament is literally happening as we record this.
It is 48 teams, 16 cities across the US, Mexico and Canada, and it doesn't wrap up until July 19th.
So if you're even thinking about going to a match, this episode is for you. We're covering budget and saving money first, because that's the part that actually makes or breaks the trip.
Then airport and stadium vocabulary you'll genuinely need, what to pack, and a quick rundown of first-timer mistakes.
And confession time before we start. I almost bought a flight to the wrong city last week.
Wait, what?
I was looking at a match and grabbed flights to Houston. The game's in Kansas City.
How do you mix up Houston and Kansas City?
I was tired and scrolling fast, Sally. It happens.
That's genuinely concerning for someone hosting a travel episode.
Which is exactly why we're doing this episode. If I almost messed it up, plenty of people are about to...
Fair point. Okay, let's start with money, because honestly, that's where most people get blindsided.
It really is. Hotel prices in some host cities have jumped somewhere between 300 and 900% compared to a normal week.
Wait, 900%? That's not a typo?
Not a typo. Some reporting on Mexico City specifically found nightly rates jumping over 9 times normal price once the schedule was confirmed.
That's insane. So step 1 obviously is book early.
6 to 9 months out is the sweet spot people keep mentioning. After that window closes, prices climb fast as casual fans start booking too.
And here's a phrase for that exact moment: lock in a rate. It means securing a price now before it goes up. We locked in the rate back in January, so we paid way less than everyone booking last month.
Lock in, you'll hear this with flights, hotels, even gym memberships. Anytime you secure today's price against tomorrow's increase.
Okay, second money move. The actual city you pick matters almost as much as when you book.
Explain that.
Mexico's host cities, Mexico City, Guadalajara, Monterrey, are dramatically cheaper across the board. Stadium meals around $8 to $10, public transport under $1 a ride, and hotel rates way below the US cities.
Meanwhile, somewhere like New York or Miami, you're paying premium rates on basically everything.
Exactly. So if budget's tight and you've got flexibility on which match you attend, that decision alone can save you hundreds.
That's a genuinely useful thing nobody tells you up front. You don't think of the World Cup as pick the cheap city, you think pick my team's match.
Right. But if you're not following one specific team and just want the experience, that flexibility is huge.
Okay, but I'll push back slightly. Houston gets mentioned a lot too as a budget winner in the US specifically, not just the Mexican cities.
That's fair, actually. Houston combines decent affordability with a ton of family-friendly stuff to do outside the stadium, which matters if you're not traveling solo.
And Atlanta's another sleeper pick. Tons of hotel inventory, so prices don't spike as violently, plus solid public transit getting you to the stadium without a rental car.
Versus somewhere like the New York area where hotel demand around the final specifically is already showing rates triple a normal summer night.
Makes sense. Everyone wants to say they were at the final. Scarcity plus demand equals exactly what you'd expect.
Which loops back to the whole theme here. The World Cup isn't one trip. It's 16 different trips with 16 different price tags, and which one you pick matters as much as anything else you plan.
Quick debate before we move on. Is it smarter to follow one team city to city, or pick one region and just stay put?
I'm team stay put. Honestly, hopping cities sounds exciting until you're the one repacking a suitcase every 2 days for a month straight.
I actually disagree. If you've got the budget and flexibility, following your team gives you a storyline. You're invested in every single match, not just watching random games in a fan zone.
Sure, but factor in the actual logistics. A flight between 2 host cities can run anywhere from $300 to $600 one way, and that's assuming there's even a direct flight.
That's fair. Following a team in the Western region specifically, for example, keeps you mostly on one coast through the group stage, so it's manageable early on. It's the later rounds that get unpredictable.
Right, because you don't know your next city until the bracket actually plays out. You could be booking a flight 48 hours before a quarterfinal.
Which is exactly why the refundable booking tip matters so much for this specific travel style. Staying flexible costs a little more, but it saves you from total chaos later.
So maybe the real answer is pick one region if you're budget conscious. Follow your team only if you've got real financial cushion and nerves of steel.
That's a fair middle ground. Either way works. It's just about knowing which kind of trip you're actually signing up for. And honestly, talk it through with whoever you're traveling with before you book anything. Because mismatched expectations on this exact question ruin more group trips than any budget issue ever does.
Third thing, and this one surprised me, FIFA fan festivals. They're free.
Completely free, open to the public, giant screens, every match streaming live, thousands of fans, full atmosphere, zero ticket cost.
So you don't have to be inside the stadium to actually experience a World Cup match.
Some people genuinely prefer the fan zone energy over the actual seats. You're packed in with people screaming for the same team, and you didn't pay $400 for the privilege.
That's a serious budget unlock for matches you're not desperate to attend in person.
Fourth, transportation on match day. Uber and Lyft surge insanely close to stadiums right after the final whistle.
How insanely!
A normal $15 ride can spike past $80 within minutes of the game ending. Everyone leaves at once and requests a ride at once.
So what's the move?
Public transit. Most host cities expanded their bus and rail schedules specifically for the tournament, and several offer discounted match day passes for ticket holders.
Surge pricing. Quick one to flag, since you'll see this constantly. It means prices spike temporarily because demand suddenly jumped. Don't order a ride right when the concert lets out. That's peak surge pricing.
And it's not just ride shares. Flights, hotels, even concert tickets all surge the same way.
Fifth thing, and this one's sneaky. Roaming charges if you're an international traveler crossing all 3 countries.
Oh, this one's brutal. A typical roaming plan charges absurd daily rates, and if you're bouncing between the US, Mexico, and Canada for weeks, that adds up fast.
The fix is a multi-country eSIM. Companies like Airalo or Holofly sell North America bundles that cover all 3 countries on one plan.
Savings of 70 to 90% compared to roaming through your home carrier, worth setting up before you even leave.
Sixth, book refundable accommodation, not the cheapest non-refundable rate.
This one matters more than people think. If your team gets knocked out in the group stage, you don't want to be stuck paying for a hotel near a knockout match you're no longer attending.
Refundable rates cost a little more upfront, but the flexibility is worth it, given how unpredictable the bracket gets.
That tracks the tournament schedule basically evolves in real time as teams get eliminated.
That tracks for anyone who missed it in an earlier episode. It means something makes sense. It's consistent with what you'd expect.
Okay, last money tip, and it's the most boring but most effective one. Set a daily budget for food and incidentals, separate from your big trip costs.
Because people budget the hotel and the flight and completely forget that stadium beer and 3 meals a day add up fast.
A realistic range is somewhere between $60 and $100 a day if you're being budget conscious in the US or Canada, way less in the Mexican host cities.
And cooking a few meals if you've got an Airbnb with a kitchen saves real money over 2 or 3 weeks.
Let's actually put numbers on this, because budget carefully doesn't mean much without a real range. A genuinely tight budget trip, 2 group stage matches, 1 city, 5 nights in a hostel, lands around $2,400 all in.
And on the other end,
a mid-range trip with 3 matches including a round of 16 game, 2 cities, 8 nights in a proper hotel, runs closer to $8,000 or $9,000.
that's a massive gap between the two.
It is, and ticket tier is a huge part of why. FIFA actually introduced a brand new cheap tier this time around. Supporter entry, $60 flat, even for the final.
Wait, $60 gets you into the actual final?
That specific tier. Yes, though it's extremely limited and goes fast. Above that, you've got Category 4 through Category 1, and prices climb sharply the further the tournament goes.
How sharply are we talking for the final specifically?
Category 1 face value for the final is close to $8,000, and that's before you even touch the resale market, where finals tickets are going for 5 figures.
Okay, so group stage is genuinely the budget-friendly entry point.
By far. Group stage Category 4 tickets start around $80. That's the move if you just want to say you were there without remortgaging your house.
One more money trick before we move on. Paying with travel rewards cards or points instead of straight cash.
This one's underrated. Some cards give you ride credits, hotel credits, or restaurant credits that quietly chip away at daily costs without you noticing.
And if you've been stacking airline miles for a while, this is genuinely the trip to cash them in on.
Exactly. Booking flights with points instead of cash also tends to give you more flexibility to change plans later, which matters a lot once the knockout bracket starts shifting.
Okay, I think that covers the money section solidly.
Onto vocabulary you'll actually need at the airport and the stadium.
This is the part I'm most excited about, honestly, because airport English moves fast and a lot of people freeze up.
First one, final call. You'll hear this over the airport speakers. It means the boarding process is ending. You need to get to the gate immediately.
This is the final call for Flight 212 to Houston. If you hear that, stop shopping for souvenirs and walk.
Second, layover, a stop between flights where you change planes. I've got a 2-hour layover in Dallas before my connecting flight to Kansas City.
Third one, and this trips up a lot of travelers, gate change. Your departure gate got switched, usually announced over the speakers and on the screens.
Always double-check your gate number on the monitors, not just your original boarding pass. Gates change constantly in big airports.
Fourth, carry-on, the bag you bring with you onto the plane instead of checking it. Is this carry-on size, or do I need to check it?
Fifth, TSA or security checkpoint in general. That's the security screening area before you reach the actual gates. Expect to remove your shoes, laptop, and liquids.
Sixth, boarding group or boarding zone. Airlines call your group up in order, usually by number or letter. Don't crowd the gate before your group's called. You'll just get sent back.
And one more, connecting flight, the next flight in your itinerary after a layover. My connecting flight leaves from a different terminal, so I need to move fast.
That terminal thing genuinely catches people off guard. Some airports require a shuttle or train just to get between terminals, and that eats into your layover time fast.
Always check whether your layover is in the same terminal or a different one. A 60-minute layover sounds fine until you realize you need 15 of those minutes just for transportation.
And now let's switch to stadium vocabulary, because this is where it gets specific to the World Cup.
First, clear bag policy. Every single one of the 16 stadiums requires your main bag to be transparent. Clear plastic, vinyl, or PVC, and it can't be bigger than roughly 12 by 12 by 6 inches.
Wait, that's strict. What happens if you show up with a regular backpack?
You get turned away at the gate. There's no bag check or storage inside the stadiums. It's entirely on you to bring the right bag.
That's a stadium policy I genuinely did not know about going in. And it's the kind of thing that ruins your day if you find out at the gate.
Exactly why we're flagging it. A clear tote or even a 1-gallon Ziploc bag technically qualifies, and they're cheap, $8 to $20 at most big retailers.
Second stadium term, kickoff. The official start of the match. Gates open 2 hours before kickoff, so don't show up at the last minute.
Third, pitch. That's the field itself in soccer terminology. Not the field, not the court. If someone says get on the pitch, they mean the playing surface.
Fourth, concourse. The wide walkway inside the stadium with food stands, restrooms, and merchandise. Meet me on the concourse behind section 114.
Fifth, supporter section. The area usually behind one goal, packed with the loudest, most dedicated fans of a specific team. Expect chanting, flags, and zero personal space.
And sixth, one more security-related term, prohibited items. Anything banned from entry, lighters, large flags without approval, hard-sided water bottles, that kind of thing.
One sealed plastic water bottle, 20 ounces max, is allowed. Hard reusable bottles like a metal flask are not, even if it's empty.
Wait, even empty?
Even empty. It's about the material, not what's inside it.
That's such a specific rule that nobody would guess on their own.
Which is exactly why we're covering it now instead of you finding out the hard way at the gate.
One more stadium term before we move on, will call. That's where you pick up physical tickets that were reserved under your name instead of mailed to you.
Useful if you bought from a verified resale platform and they're holding your ticket at the venue instead of shipping it.
And the last one, entry gate versus general admission. Big stadiums have multiple numbered entry gates, and your ticket usually specifies exactly which one to use.
Walking up to the wrong gate with the right ticket just means extra walking around the entire stadium perimeter. Always check your ticket for the specific gate number before you leave your hotel.
I learned that one the hard way at a different sporting event. By the way, walked an extra 20 minutes around a stadium because I assumed all gates worked the same.
Of course you did. Add that to your growing list of travel mishaps for today's episode.
We're really building a theme here, aren't we?
Okay, quick section. What to actually pack, since we've got limited time and a lot to cover.
Keep this part snappy. Top of the list, your clear stadium bag, sorted before you even leave home.
Comfortable shoes you've already broken in. You're walking constantly between gates, concourses, and transit stations.
A portable phone charger because between navigation, tickets, and photos, your battery will not survive a match day.
Sunscreen and a hat if you're at an outdoor stadium in the middle of summer. Some of these host cities get brutally hot in June and July.
Your government-issued ID or passport, always. International visitors specifically need a physical passport. Copies aren't accepted.
And one sealed water bottle, since we just covered why that matters.
A lightweight rain layer, too, depending on your city. Some host cities get sudden summer storms that roll in and out within an hour.
And a small portable fan or cooling towel if you're somewhere like Houston, Dallas, or Monterey in July. The heat there is genuinely no joke.
That's genuinely the core list. Don't overpack, because you'll be moving between cities constantly if you're following a team through multiple rounds.
All right, last topic before word tour, first-timer mistakes, and we promise to keep this short.
Mistake 1, trying to watch every single match. Flying city to city non-stop with no rest days burns people out fast.
Mistake 2, booking non-refundable hotels too early for matches that depend on your team winning. If they get knocked out, you're stuck.
Mistake 3, forgetting cross-border logistics. Moving between the US, Mexico, and Canada involves visa checks and real buffer time, not just a flight.
And mistake 4, the simplest one, showing up with the wrong bag and getting turned away at security. Completely avoidable, completely common. 4 mistakes, all preventable, all things we just talked about fixing.
Okay, real talk. Out of everything today, what's the one tip you'd actually tell a friend first?
Probably the fan zones. People assume the only real World Cup experience is inside the stadium, and that's just not true.
For me, it's the eSIM thing. Such a small setup step that saves you from a genuinely brutal phone bill later. Honestly, between roaming charges and surge pricing, the small prep stuff is where people lose the most money without even noticing.
Both fair, and that's basically the whole episode in one sentence. The big expenses are obvious. It's the small, invisible ones that actually wreck a budget. Okay, word tour, 6 expressions from today. Write them down.
Number 1, lock in a rate, securing today's price before it increases. We locked in our hotel rate back in January.
Number 2, surge pricing. Prices spiking temporarily because demand jumped suddenly. Don't book a ride right when the match ends. That's peak surge pricing.
Number 3, layover, a stop between flights where you change planes. I've got a 2-hour layover before my connection.
Number 4, gate change. Your departure gate switched, usually announced on the airport screens. Always check the monitors for a gate change.
Number 5, clear bag policy. The stadium rule requiring a transparent bag of a specific size. Check the clear bag policy before you pack for match day.
And number 6, prohibited items. Anything banned from entering the venue? Read the list of prohibited items so you don't get turned away.
6 expressions. Say each one out loud at least once this week, especially if you're actually traveling to a match.
Before we close, listener question. They wrote, I'm going to my first ever World Cup match next month. What's the one thing you wish someone had told you before your first big sporting event abroad?
Honestly, arrive way earlier than feels necessary. Gates open 2 hours before kickoff for a reason, and lines build fast.
Agreed, and I'd add, download anything you need offline before you go. Maps, translation apps, your tickets as actual screenshots, not just an app that needs signal.
Because stadium Wi-Fi with 80,000 people connecting at once is not reliable.
Not even slightly. Plan like the signal will fail because it probably will.
I'd also add, bring a small amount of physical cash, even in places where cards are normally fine everywhere.
Why specifically cash for this?
Some smaller vendors near stadiums, especially street food stalls outside official fan zones, are cash only or have card readers that go down under heavy crowds.
That's a good one, and honestly, a backup plan for getting back to your hotel matters too. If transit is shut down or surging, know your walking route as a fallback.
Nobody wants to walk 40 minutes after a match, but it beats paying $80 for a 10-minute ride.
Exactly. Great question, and genuinely useful for anyone traveling for their first big event, not just this tournament.
One more thing I'd throw in, actually, pack a portable battery pack, specifically for your phone, separate from any luggage you check.
Why separate?
Because checked bags get delayed, lost, or just take forever to arrive at baggage claim. If your phone dies before you even reach your hotel, you're stuck without maps, tickets, or a way to call a ride.
That's a small thing that genuinely ruins a first day if it goes wrong.
Exactly. And honestly, write down your hotel address in the local language before you land, in case you need to show it to a driver who doesn't speak much English.
That one's underrated too. A screenshot of an address translated correctly beats trying to pronounce a street name you've never seen before.
Small things, but they're the difference between a smooth first day and a stressful one. Plan for the boring stuff and the fun stuff takes care of itself.
Phrase of the day, and this one ties the whole episode together.
Let's hear it.
Fail to plan, plan to fail.
What's it mean?
If you don't prepare ahead of time, you're setting yourself up to struggle later. He didn't check the bag policy and got turned away at the gate. Fail to plan. Plan to fail.
It's blunt, but it's accurate. Every single mistake we covered today traces back to skipping a 5-minute prep step. The bag policy, the refundable hotel, the eSIM, the early arrival. None of it is complicated. It's just easy to skip if you don't know it matters.
And that's basically this whole episode. 5 minutes of planning saves you hours of headache on match day.
Exactly. Small prep, big payoff.
Before we go, quick teaser. Next episode, we're doing something a little different.
We're not saying what yet, but it involves opening up the show to actual listener voices.
Oh, you're going to like this one. Stay tuned.
That's a wrap on this episode. So glad you were here.
If it's your first time, welcome. Thanks for tuning in.
And if you're actually heading to a match this summer, safe travels and have an amazing time.
Stick around. There's a lot more coming.
Keep learning and keep growing.
Peace, everybody. Travel safe out there.